Here, I gotta get the camera so it's straight and everything. For those of you who have OCD like me, that would drive me absolutely crazy. So what's up, guys? It's around 1:37 in the morning, so we're a little late, but we're here. So today we're gonna have a discussion about teaching English online, as well as some Thai culture. Obviously, I'm not Thai, but been to Thailand quite a bit, so I think I can speak on it a little bit. Let's see here, trying to get the lighting right. All right, so yeah, guys, we're just gonna be kind of chilling together, chilling out, late night together like usual, right? And try to have some productive conversations. I went live last night like 4 times, and even though it was like later at night, we still ended up getting some pretty good discussions and stuff. So, you know, hopefully we can continue the productive dialogue today. Today I was pretty busy today. I grinded on Uber. I made quite a bit of money, which was cool. Did a couple things for school. And what else did I do? Oh, we got an ab workout in. So we got a workout in too. And I haven't had pretty much time to look at my phone or do anything like chilling or anything like that. So that's a really good thing, you know. I'm trying to stay off the phone. There's so much unproductive nonsense that you see on the phone. And you know, I'd rather be doing some things where there's going to be some results, you know. So trying to stay off the cell phone as much as I can. And instead of like, you know, consuming things in my free time, which like right now is my free time before I go to bed, instead I'm trying to, you know, stay consistent and create things instead of consume them. So happy to be here. Hopefully we get a decent audience in tonight. And yeah, guys. So I always say this for people that watch my YouTube lives in back time. I know a lot of people watch my videos once they're already posted live, and the first like 4 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, I'm usually just going to be doing like an introduction, and not really, well, obviously not answering questions because no one's in the chat yet. And you know, I start somewhere around 4 or 5 minutes where I start talking about whatever the title is, because it takes around 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes even longer, for viewers to start showing up in the live stream. So yeah, if anyone is you know, watching my videos in back time on YouTube, on my YouTube live playlist, and you don't want to see like, you know, me talking just small talk, trying to kill time, just fast forward to like the 4 or 5 minute mark, and for whatever reason, that's when the algorithm in YouTube starts to pick you up, and that's when, you know, I'll kind of start actually talking about the topic. So we're at the 4 minute mark right now. A couple people are showing up in the live stream, which is cool. Welcome, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? How's your weekend going, guys? What's up, guys? What's going on? You guys do anything fun this weekend? I got to see a good friend this weekend who was in town, so that was really cool. That's why my my live streams have been a little later. We've been cruising around, doing Uber Eats together. So it's been good catching up with an old friend. So anyways, guys, I'll start rambling on about the topic of today's video, which was teaching online, and we might get into some Thai culture stuff as well. I have a lot of people who watch my videos, who watch my live streams, who have a lot of questions about Thailand. And, you know, I think I'm a good person to answer the questions. I have family who is Thai. I have lived in Thailand, and I know a decent amount about Thailand, so we can kind of do some of that too. But anyways, guys, I've had some people kind of ask me in my chat about what's a good way to start earning, you know, money online, given that you don't have any skills. And what I say to that is, well, first of all, that sentence doesn't really make sense, because we all have skills, right? Like, we might not realize that, but just existing in itself is technically a skill, you know? And pretty much 99.99% of the people in the world know how to speak a language, whether that's English or Korean or French or Spanish or Russian or Vietnamese or Mandarin. Hi Zara, how you doing? How's the weekend going? Welcome to the channel. But everyone knows some sort of language, right? And you can use that language to teach other people, right? So even if you don't think you have a skill, even if you don't think like you can provide value, you can, right? Because knowing English or any language is a skill, right? So you can teach other people on the internet how to speak your language, and there's going to be people that will pay you money for doing that, and they'll pay you a lot of money if they like you as a person. Oh, I'm glad you're doing good. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is that's a really basic example, right? Like we all have some sort of skill, but a lot of us have other things that we're skillful in. Like some people know how to play the piano. Some people are good at fishing. Some people are good at knitting. Some people are, you know, they know a lot about fitness. So I think that if you want freedom and you want to, you know, on my channel I talk a lot about like traveling abroad. So if you want to figure out a way to live overseas, then, you know, using the skills that you've already been gifted with is really the best way to do it. King Vaughn said something in the chat. You're right, living is a skill. However, I think unless you know both languages decently well, then you cannot apply that skill. That's actually not true. That's a misconception that a lot of people have, is that like if you're teaching a Korean how to speak English, you need to know Korean. And I got my TEFL certificate 3 years ago, which stands for Teaching English to Foreign Language Students. And the number one rule in TEFL is you can't use the opposite language to teach them. So a lot of people don't realize that when you learn a new language, your teacher isn't supposed to use your language. Because if you rely on that language, then it doesn't force you to learn the new one. So although it may be helpful to know the other language for dialogue and for cultural reasons, it's not a necessity to be, you know, duolingual, right? Bilingual. You don't have to know the other language to teach it. So yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. So yeah, guys. So So, that's just my most basic example though, right? Like that's the lowest bar. Um, that's the lowest bar of the totem pole. Like if you think you have, no skills whatsoever, it's not true. We all have fundamental skills. But with that being said, the more rare your skill is, like, for example, like if if you know how to like play the piano with your eyes closed, then that's a more rare skill than knowing how to speak English, obviously. So if you have one of these type skills, like let's say you're really good at knitting, like let's use knitting as an example. Like there's probably a lot of people that want to learn how to knit, but there's not a ton of knitting teachers. So if you have a skill like that, you should definitely put yourself online. Whether that be, signing up for school, I think that's spelled like SKOOL. It's a platform for learning, or creating like a YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and just start making content based upon what your passion is. That's interesting. I'm an education major, and we discussed that like at times it can be helpful for our multilingual learners to have extra time or hear things in their own language to associate things. Yeah, no, no, I think definitely, like, for example, like, let's say you wanted to teach in Thailand, and there's two candidates, right? There's a person who knows how to speak English really good, but then there's a person that knows how to speak English really good, but they also know Thai. Well, obviously that person's gonna get hired, but what I'm trying to say is that's not actually what the curriculum in TEFL tells you to do. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, good night, man. Thanks for popping in, and I appreciate it. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, no, I try to provide as much information as I can. This channel is about success. It's about this channel is about trying to help people become successful. So I try to provide as much value as I can. I don't know everything, but with the experience and stuff that I have, that's what I try to do. Wait, one last question. Where is the curriculum for TEFL, and where can I find it? I must continue to learn more, man. Awesome, dude. I appreciate it. Well, I got my TEFL certificate at TEFL.uk. So it's all capital, or actually it might not be capital. It's capital TEFL.uk. You can go to their website. And that's the best TEFL certificate is out of the United Kingdom. It cost me around a little under $300 to get the certificate. But my recommendation to you, and I hope you're still listening to this, because I'm trying to provide some value here. So I'm trying to save you some money. So I got the TEFL.uk certificate, and I was really proud about it because it's kind of the best one. But when I went overseas to Vietnam and Thailand, I learned that they actually don't really care about where you get your certificate from. So my suggestion for you is the only thing that matters is it's the 120-hour certificate. So try to find one on the internet for cheap. Like I know people who have gotten them for like $40. So try to find one that's a certificate you could get 120-hour accredited, right? So it just has to be 120 hours. You don't have to get the 241. Don't get the 60-hour one. You need to get the 120-hour certificate. So get that. It doesn't have to be TEFL.uk, although TEFL.uk is the best one. But if you're just getting it to, for the sake of, getting higher, don't really worry about where it's from. Course hours. So 120 hours is just an estimated amount of time it's going to take you to complete the course. They usually give you 6 months to complete it. And if you don't complete it in 6 months, you have to pay a little bit more money. I completed mine in 5 months. But if you don't have a job and you work really hard, you could probably complete it in like a month or two. But I'm a bit of a slower learner, so it took me a little bit longer. So yeah, man. I think it's a really good thing to get for your resume. Do your diligence. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Subscribe to the channel if you want. I'm gonna make more content about teaching English if that's something that you're interested in. So yeah. All right, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. Yeah, so the other thing that's important to know, let's see here. That's valid. I got 2 jobs right now along with school, but that's something I might look into over the summer. Also, you got a sub from me, brother. Hey, dude, I appreciate that, man. I have to work tomorrow. Okay, have a good day at work. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, welcome to the channel, guys. This channel is about success. I'm trying to actually help you guys. I've invested a ton of money and invested a bunch of time of trying to figure out how to make it online, how to live life overseas, how to excel at the highest level. So my channel is all about success, and we're not going to lose. We're going to win here. So this channel is for winners. King Von, the only other thing I'll tell you, man, if this is something you're serious about, well, I guess I kind of mentioned, yeah, just do your due diligence as far as if teaching English online is actually something you want to do. Do your due diligence on what platform you use. Do a lot of research, because one platform you might only make a couple $100, but another one you might make a few $1,000s. So don't take it personal if you go down this rabbit hole and you don't have success at first. It takes a little bit of time, but I promise you, if you stay consistent, you can make something out of yourself. And that can give you geographical freedom. So nice, congratulations on your pay raise. That's awesome. It's good to see. Hard work pays off. Yeah. So trying to think what else we could talk about here as far as teaching online. The cool thing about teaching online that I always tell the people is it's absolutely fabulous for your resume, because not only can you tell people that you have students from all around the world. I have students from Korea, China, Malaysia, Thailand, France, Brazil. So I know a lot of things that's going on around the world, because I would talk to these people sometimes 8 to 10 hours a day. And it's cool. It's like, oh, someone's telling me about the DMZ and the conflict with Korea. And now I get to hear about what's going on in Brazil. And, now I get to hear about someone from France, and they talk about the EU. And it gives you a lot of knowledge. You can learn a lot from your students. Also with that is it's fabulous for references. I have so many students that I can use now for references. And these are really good references to use, because a lot of my students, and what you'll find is the people that that seek higher education, that want to actually invest their time and money to learn a language, these are high profile people. These aren't lazy people who are smoking weed on the couch on the weekend. No, these are people that invest the money that they have to better their life. And, you know, I have a student who is the director of the police department for Hong Kong, you know, so I'm meeting, teaching political officials, informing these relationships. So, I think that if you want to level up your status and have some really good references, I always suggest people to get into this, even if the pay's not phenomenal. So it's not my passion, but my passion is teaching and educating the next generation in general. But we often see our multilingual learners in Gen Ed class, and we have to find ways to accommodate for all. Yeah, dude. No, I totally understand what you're saying, and I think that's really cool that you're passionate about educating the youth. That's in my opinion, that's like the most important. That's the most important profession in the world, right? You know, how we can impact the next generation. You know, so you know, keep going with your passion, and congratulations on your success. You've always wanted to be a pharmacologist, okay? Yeah, that's definitely good references for sure, bro. You got a good head on your shoulders. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of the other thing I will talk about, and also, guys, there's going to be mistakes along the way, at least for me. Like, you know, looking back, this is a lesson I could teach. But looking back in time, I really missed a lot of good opportunities, you know, because what you'll find is, you know, when you put yourself out there and you're, you know, meeting some of these people, through teaching them, opportunities might be presented to you. You might start being someone's teacher, but they might really like you. You know, they might like what you're doing. And like I said before, a lot of these people that you're teaching English to, they have some level of status in their own countries. And, you know, obviously you can use that status to leverage off of them, right? Not to use them, but sometimes they might like offer you a job, you know, at their company or something like that. And looking back in time, I wish I was a little more aware of, you know, some of these situations. But I know that might sound far-fetched, but I'm telling you, you know, if you're teaching, you know, if you got a client list of a few hundred people that you built, you know, this is really a phenomenal way to, you know, do some international networking. So so yeah, guys, that's pretty much all right there. I'm probably gonna cut the live here, but I appreciate you guys watching. Good luck with your endeavors, and I'll talk to you guys later.